Hi. So these videos are a little awkward for me to make because I've never really just talked into the camera before, but I've been wanting to make these videos ever since Exton was 12 months old. He just turned 18 months yesterday. So, and I really wish I would have made these videos back when he was 12 months old because he's come such a far way, and it would have been nice to look back on and see how far he's come. Like, I know how far he's come. At the same time, there's things that you forget that it would have just been nice to look back on and be reminded and, you know, how far he's come. So I'm making these videos for myself to look back on, and I'm making these videos for his family and his friends or our friends. And I'm making these videos for, people that may be going through the same situation that I'm going through. Um, because when I first found out, well, I'm going to get there, but I Googled a lot, and I found one girl on YouTube that just helped me out so much. And she made me um, just kind of stop everything that I was doing and stop my mind from running, and kind of just put me in my place and had me accept a lot of things. So I really thankful for that video on YouTube, of that lady, um, because now I'm just completely came to terms with everything and totally fine with it. So I just want to kind of, talk about what Exton's story, and, where we are today. So I'm going to rewind and talk about Exton just himself when he was a baby. So when Exton was a baby, he actually hit all his milestones. Like, was lifting up his head at the right time. He rolled over at the right time. He started crawling, he used to actually say some words. He used to say ball and dada and mama. So he used to say some words. And then he started walking at 3 weeks before his first birthday. So anytime we've gone to the doctor appointments, everything was on point. His weight, his height. So nothing gave us red flags of anything being off. He was a perfect, healthy boy, and so we never thought otherwise. So it wasn't until he was 12 months old, and it was around Thanksgiving. And Exton never acknowledged his name. Every time we called him, Exton, he never looked or turned his head at us. And I didn't think anything of it. So Exton's my first child. Tom, my husband, has a daughter from his previous relationship. She's 21, so a little bit of an age difference. But I've also been around kids my whole life. My mom had a daycare when I grew up at our house, and I've run around my nieces and nephews. So I've always been around kids. So it wasn't like I didn't know anything about kids. I just wasn't aware of like when they should be doing things that they should be doing. So I Googled a lot actually. I always Googled milestones at 10 months old and where they should be. And he always was right on point. And so again, it wasn't until he wasn't responding his name and I didn't think anything of it. And I started talking to other people and I'd be like joking around and I'd be like, I don't think he knows his name. And every time I got the same reaction from every person that I told when I said that Exton didn't know his name or didn't acknowledge his name. Everybody gave me the, oh, really? Like, and so then it made me think, like, okay. So I told Tom, my husband, I'm like, you know, maybe he's supposed to know his name. And so I'm like, well, maybe he doesn't like his name. So I started yelling, like, John, Chris, Bob, whatever, just to try to get his attention. And he wouldn't respond to anything. Um, so of course, then I did lovely old Google. And right when you put in Google as, okay, I put in 12-month not acknowledging their name. First thing that it says is autism. Um, And I was like, no way. Like, he doesn't have autism. Like, and, again, he hit all his milestones. He's not, you know, I just never thought autism. Um, so then it was like, well, maybe it's a hearing issue. And I'm like, well, that's not it, because Exton definitely hears, because he loves Sesame Street, loves Sesame Street. And he can be in the other room, and if Sesame Street turns on, he'll stop, look around, and run into the other room where Sesame Street is playing. He also loves music, and if he recognizes the song that he knows, even from when he was a baby, I mean, let's not even say from walking or crawling. If a song went on that he was in the other room, let's say at 6 months or 8 months, he'll stop and he'll listen and hear it, and acknowledge that we knew that he could hear the song. So he also did a thing when he was about 12 months old, maybe even a little bit younger. He used to do a thing of echoing, like he would go ah, and then I would go ah, and then he'd go ah. And he would do it back and forth. So I would, he'd do it with my husband a lot too. My husband would be upstairs and Exton would be downstairs. And that was his way of asking, like, Dad, are you upstairs? And he'll be like, ah. And then my husband would go, ah. And so they would keep doing it back and forth. So I knew that there was no hearing issue. Um, we also got that checked out. And sure enough, his hearing is fine. So I knew that wasn't it. But then I was reading on and it was like, well, it's fine as long as he's pointing at things. And I'm like, then it made me start thinking. I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't think he points at all. So I don't think he's ever pointed. Um, so I'm starting to, my wheels start turning and I start like really watching him. And I'm like, then really thinking about it. I'm like, he has never waved hi or bye to anybody. My husband says he's done it once, to somebody at the grocery store, but I don't know. I wasn't there. But as for all the time how little kids will go like this and wave, and Exton's never done that. So, and he's never pointed at things that he's wanted. Um, and like I said, Exton used to say some words. He's always said mama. He used to say dada, and then he used to say ball. He said ball for like a week, and that was probably about like 9 months old, 10 months old that he said ball. Has never said ball ever again. Used to say dada and maybe for like a week again, and hasn't said it. Now he's 18 months old now, and I'll get into that later about where he's at now. But at 18 months old now, he's just starting to go da 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 da. Not da da, not like da da is da da. It's just da 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 da. And just like with mama, he's always said mama, but it's never, I don't even know if he still knows. He's 18 months and I don't even know if he still knows that I'm mama. Everything's mama, 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 mama. And then when he's crying, he'll reach out for me now at 18 months and go, mama, mama. But back when, I'm going to rewind again, back when he was 12 months or anything, he's never, or even younger, has never reached out his hands to come up to us or anything like that. And then he always played with his ears all the time. And I can't even tell you how many times I took Exton to the doctor because I thought he had an ear infection. Every time we had a doctor's appointment, I always told the doctor, and my husband would always get so mad at me. He's like, he doesn't have an ear infection. I'm like, babies always play with their ears when their ears hurt. And he was always messing with his ears all the time. And I'm like, God, I think he's got an ear infection. And I also know that ears are a new thing to play with. But he would just play with them in a way of like, his ears hurt. So, and again, I've been around kids and I know that part of like, that's what they do. They tug on their ears when their ears hurt. Every time, has never had an ear infection. Doctor always said that his ears are fine. And Exton also, never babbled. It was never before the whole dada mama, let's just say at 12 months old. It was never like blah 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 blah, like never having a conversation. Even when he did talk like dada mama, it was never talking back and forth between Tom and I, like, or other people. Most babies, they'll have an interaction of like blah 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 blah, and they're really like talking to you and telling you things, but you don't understand them. Exton never did that. But Exton, about 12 months and a little bit younger, has always a lot of humming, a lot of when he's playing. It's and it's a lot of humming. And then he's also has a texture issue of with foods. Like, I'll put a powdered donut in his hand and it will make him gag. It took me forever to get him to eat eggs. Eggs will just make him throw up. And then it wasn't, so again, when Exton was a baby, about 9 months old or so, my sister and my husband and and my nieces and nephew, we all went on vacation. And I used to tell my sister, now my sister has 3 kids and it's a lot of like comparing. Okay. So I would tell her like, Exton does this, but it was always, you're paranoid. He's fine. Right. So I would always say like, he throws up his food, and she's like, yeah, that's normal. And I'm like, I don't know if it is normal. And she's like, no, it's normal. All kids do it. So I'm like, okay. So we're out to dinner when we're on vacation, and my sister gave him something little to eat, and it was full blown throw up. Like, it's not spitting out the food, it is full blown throwing up at the dinner table. And he did it all the time. And again, my husband and I always knew when it was coming, and we were prepared for it. So when it happened when we were on vacation, my husband, it was like another thing of like, there it goes again. But we didn't think too much in it. And then it was, my sister was like, yeah, that was weird. And I'm like, I told you, that's what he does all the time. And she's like, yeah, I've never seen that before. And I'm like, okay. So then it wasn't until later that I realized, he's got a texture issue with food. Even now, from when he's 18 months, like, I tried giving him pudding, and my dad was over, and my dad's like, how exciting, his first time eating pudding. And I'm like, yeah. So then I gave it to him. Like, every kid loves pudding, but I guess there are some kids that don't. The moment I put it in his mouth, threw it all up, to the point where he hates pudding so much, or the look of it, or whatever, to where it was like a week later, I opened it to try it again, and he was freaking out, didn't want it. So then I'm like, fine, I'll eat it. And I ate a bite of it, and he threw up just watching me eating it. So I don't know if it's just pudding or if that was the texture. But like I said, it took me forever to get him to eat eggs. I'm also not a person that gives up. I will continue giving him the eggs every morning. I tried all different types of eggs, and all different types of food. And I just continue doing it and doing little baby steps at a time. And now, at 18 months, he eats eggs every morning. So scrambled eggs. So, but it's and a thing that he does now is whenever you try to give him food, he doesn't stick out his tongue. That's another thing. He doesn't stick out his tongue. It's this. So when you try to give him food, he'll touch it with his lip. He'll go like that, and he'll touch it with his lip. And if he doesn't like the texture or doesn't like the taste, I guess, I don't know, won't eat it. So he also didn't, I can't say he didn't play with others, but he doesn't play with others. He loves to play with other people, but in Exton's way. So not a, like, okay, so Exton's never mimicked us. Always doing peekaboo, things like that. Sticking out your tongue. So that's another thing. We actually thought he might be tongue-tied because he never stuck out his tongue, and he doesn't talk. So when I did have him evaluated, they said that he may be tongue-tied, so to get his tongue checked out. And I thought, oh, okay, well, that makes sense because actually he's never stuck out his tongue. Um, but now I know he's not tongue-tied because now he discovered his tongue and sticks out his tongue all the time. So, but when you have a baby and you're interacting, if you stick out your tongue, after a while, the baby will start sticking out their tongue. Playing peekaboo, the kids interact. Now, Exton always found it funny, always laughed and smiled and did things like that, but he never tried to do it himself, ever. Exton has never imitated you. So, I wanted to start teaching him sign language since he doesn't talk. But then I was like watching how you do sign language, and then it dawned on me, I'm like, how am I going to teach him sign language when he doesn't mimic me? Like, if he doesn't mimic me, I can't teach him sign language. So, sign language is not a thing that I can do since he doesn't mimic. And then what else? Also, I found it funny because I used to love spinning around when I was a kid. So he learned how to start spinning around and constantly did it. He still does it from this day. He loves spinning around. He loves anything that spins too. We'll take him to, the mall or something in a play area. And so a thing with him not playing with other kids per se, he plays with them, but in his own way. Like, he isn't going to, I don't even know. He just doesn't play like one-on-one with them. He loves the loudness. He like thrives actually off of loud and kids laughing and screaming. Like, he has a blast. So, but he will go to the mall and he'll find something that spins, like something on the wall, like you can hit and it'll spin, and he'll be there for forever until you take him away from it because he'll just sit there and spin, 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 spin. He's also learned how to go down the slide now, so now he loves going down the slide. He'll go up and down the slide, up and down the slide like thousands of times. And so we notice with other kids that, like, if the kids are running around, like the other little kids are running and chasing and da da da. Exton loves running, but he's running in his own world, okay? Because the other kids are running, a certain way. He's running with them, but it's very hard to explain. He's in his own little bubble. So when kids try to play with him, they kind of walk away from him after a while because they don't think he's interacting and playing with them. But I also try to explain to kids, like, he knows that he's just playing in his own way. Like, he's playing with you, but just in his own way. So Exton is not a type that likes to be alone. He actually loves to be around his mom and dad, and he'll play in that way of like, but it's never building blocks and doing things like that. He'll only knock down the blocks, but and he's never really like understood direction or understood us by any means. If when he won something, he never pointed, he never done anything like that. So like, there was no communicating. Like, I never knew what he wanted, or if he wanted me to pick him up, he never lifted up his arms. He never did anything like that. So there was a lot after I realized, when I started reading on Google, that's when I was just like, wow, like, it all started hitting me. I cried. I cried a lot. I was worried about, like, is he gonna drive? Is he gonna get married? Will he play sports? We named him Exton, honestly, for when he plays sports. This is his symbol. Go X, go X. Like, literally, that's why we named him Exton. Obviously, we love the name Exton, but his symbol is X. Like, so we've always had in our mind that he'll play sports and da da da. So it was very, uh, I was scared. I was scared of, I get emotional now. I was scared of his future. Um, on, if he's going to drive, is he going to have a normal life? Still, I'm, my biggest fear still is, other people, picking on him. So, Exton does love other kids, and he really does love to play with them, just in his own different way. So, my fear is him being picked on for being different, and kids not inviting him places, or wanting to play with him, because he really does love that stuff. So, you never want your kid to be picked on or to feel different. So that is one of my fears, but I'm not scared anymore about driving or marriage or anything. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I will deal with years from now. Like, I was getting so worked up and judging Exton's every move to figure out, like, does he have autism? Is there something going on? My husband and I would take him to the mall just to watch him, interact with other kids. And I got to the point, and my husband and I got to the point, like, we need to stop this. Like, we just need to just let him do his thing, and we got to stop judging his every move. So Exton is not, diagnosed of autism or anything of that sorts. Now, a lot of people are telling me, "Oh, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine." Like, which he is fine. Yeah, he is. But my husband's still going back and forth with, does he have autism? Does he not? And we don't really talk about it much. I've come to terms with it, and I'm totally fine with it. Exton is a happy, healthy boy. He loves to cuddle. He loves music. He's always been a happy baby, even when he was younger. I mean, but at the same time, he was cranky a lot too. But always smiled. Exton is such a lovable boy. He just loves cuddles, loves kisses. When he sleeps, he has to hold on to me. And that's another thing with his texture thing. My hair is huge in Exton's world. When he is tired, needs to do this with my hair. Always. Ever since she was a baby, till now to this day. And now to this day, it's kind of harder because he is stronger. So he pulls out my hair. Like, my hair, if I showed you the back here, like, it's gone. Like, so he tears my hair because he's stronger now. But my hair's always been huge in Exton's world. So when he's tired, or just because if I'm holding him, it's not a want to hold my hair. It's not like I want to tug your hair and play with it. It's a need. It's a, like, give me your hair. Like, my hair is his Exton safety blanket, honestly, is what I know about it. But he's so fun. Yes. Do I believe he's got autism? Absolutely. No doubt in my mind, honestly. But my biggest annoyance, or what I get annoyed about, is when I do bring up to friends or family or anything like that, about how Exton may have autism. It's always the word hopefully. Like, hopefully he doesn't. Well, hopefully it's not that. Well, hopefully da da da. Or, maybe I don't think he does. He doesn't look like he does. And I'm just like, oh, like, I get so mad because, why hopefully? You know, like, he is such a happy-go-lucky baby. So if he has it, that doesn't change him. That doesn't make him any different than what he is now. It's literally just a title, honestly. And actually, I don't even care to even get that title because Exton is Exton. Whether has autism or not, he is the most lovable, funny, outgoing, energetic little boy that I love with all my heart. So whether he's got autism or not, I am super thankful for him, and all I can ask is for Exton to be happy and satisfied in his life. And literally that's what he is right now. So as long as he's happy and he's content, I can hear him crying downstairs right now because he's waking up, but Tom's down there, so he should be handling that. So I'm going to end this video, but, and I will go on to when he is 18 months, and where he is now and how far he's come. So, and we will kind of get into, oh my goodness, what not to say, I guess, with when people have autism or things like that. So, but yes, we will, I will make another video of where he is now and how far he's come. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.